Welcome students. Welcome to the lecture number 11 of chapter named as functions. Okay. So the topic for today is recursion. So first let me tell you that what is basically a recursion. Okay. Recursion is basically one of the programming technique that is available in most of the programming languages. Okay. And by using the concept of recursion, we can call a function from within the body of the function. Okay. Till now you have seen that we make a function and we basically call that function from the outside. Okay. But now recursion provides us the facility that we can call the function within the function. Okay. So what is basically a recursion? Recursion is basically a programming technique, okay, in which a function call itself, right? So the function in this technique, the function is calling to itself also. So as recursion is a very most powerful tool available in most of the programming languages. So let us see that how this recursion will work and how we can handle it. So before going to some examples of recursion, first of all we will see that how recursion will work. So for understanding the working of recursion, we have to take the example of a stack. Now what is basically a stack? A stack is basically a type of container which follows the concept of LIFO. Now what is this LIFO means? LIFO means last in first out. Okay, last in first out. Suppose this is my container. Okay, for example, this is my container which is basically covered from all the three directions. Okay, that is, it is covered from the left side, it is covered from the right side, it is covered from the bottom, but this container is not covered from the top. So the top is open. Suppose if we insert a ball in it, then this ball will basically move at the bottom position. Let's name this ball as A. Okay, and suppose after that we again insert another ball in it. Suppose the name of ball is B, then obviously this ball B will be above the ball A. And after that, suppose we insert another ball and the name of the ball, let it be C. Okay, so the ball is placed at the top of ball B. Okay, so now after that, if you want to remove the ball, then the first ball C will be removed from the container, right? First the ball C will be removed from the container. So you can see that this ball C is inserted at the last position, so it is last in. Okay, but when we want to remove the elements from it, then it will is first out, right? So basically the stack is a type of container which follows the concept of LIFO, that is last in first out. Okay, and whenever we want to insert an element, we will insert the element above the topmost element. Okay, and whenever we want to remove the element, then we remove the element from the topmost position. So this is basically the working of function of stack. And basically in order to implement the concept of recursion, we have to use this stack. Okay, so let us see some example of it. So first program that we are going to do is that write a function, a recursive function, to find sum of first n natural numbers. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to do the code by using recursion to find the sum of first n natural numbers. Okay, so how we are going to do it? Let me write a small function over here without using recursion. So def, suppose we give the name to that function as series, and suppose n is the number of terms. So the first n natural number, suppose if we are given 5, 4, whatever be the value of n, it will find the sum from 1 to n. So in this we will take sum as 0, okay, and then after that we will perform a for loop, that for I in range 1 comma n plus 1, okay, and I know that I will get all the values from 1 to n. So what I will do, I will add those value in sum, and once it is over, then we can simply return the value of then we can simply return the value of sum. Okay, so this is basically the code when we perform the working without the recursion. Okay, this is a simple func. Now in this case, you know that how the work will perform. First 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Suppose if the value of n is 5, then this will do work in this way. So first, as the initial value of the sum is 0, so it will add 0 plus 1, then whatever will be the result, 2 get added in it, then 3, then 4, then 5, and we get the answer as 15. Okay, now if we have to do it by using the concept of recursion, right? So remember one thing, whenever you want to apply the concept of recursion, you move from end to the starting one. Okay, move from end to the starting one. So how? Let me redesign it with the help of recursion. Okay, so n is basically the limit is given to the user. Okay, so if n is less than equal to 1, so when the value of n is basically less than or equal to 1, then what we have to do, we have to return the value of n and else. Now this else part is most important. Okay, so return, then you know the last expression is 5 plus 4. Okay, suppose when the user call this function, it will send the value of n as 5. Okay, you know that when the user will call this function, the value of n that is sent to that function is 5. So the n will get the value 5 over here, right? Now, so we have to move from down from the back side. So the last number is basically 5. So we can say that the last number is basically n, and the number above before it is basically n minus 1. Okay, so over here 5 is represent n and 4 is represented by n minus 1. So how we can write the expression? We will write it as n plus the name of the series is the name of the function is series, and within bracket we will write n minus 1. Okay, so within bracket we will write n minus 1. So by this way we can simply do that function. So let us see that how this work is going on. Okay, so suppose I have taken this as a stack. So suppose this is basically a stack given to me. Okay, in this stack the first element is inserted at the bottom position, then the second element is up to that above one position. So let us do that question. Suppose the user send the value of n as 5. Okay, so when it comes down, it checks whether the value of n is less than equal to 1. Is 5 is less than or equal to 1? The answer is no, 5 is not less than equal to 1. Then what will happen? It will move to this point. Over here it is written that n plus series, it's series n minus 1. Okay, over there it is written as series n minus 1. Okay, so now what will happen? Because this statement will return the value only when it gets the value of this series n plus 1. because once it get the value of this expression, only then it add the value with n and return the result. So in this case, what will happen? When this point, the control moves back to the starting position, because over by this line, this series n minus 1, we are basically calling this function, because in order to call this function we have to write series n. Okay, so now in this way, the series n minus 1, the value of n minus 1, that is 4, is sent to the function, and this series is hold. So now in the stack, what will be the last value that is present? Okay, in the stack we will get the last value as 5 plus series of n minus 1, that is 4. So the function, so when this line execute, this is basically the calling of the function. So when this line execute, what will happen? The control moves to the starting of this loop, and n will get the value as 4. Okay, then it again comes down and check the current value of n, which is 4, is that value is less than equal to 1? No, the answer is still no. So obviously it will move to the next line, but over here what he has to perform, right now the value of n is 4, then again a call is stored in the stack, that is 4 plus series of 3. Okay, 4 plus series of 3, because n minus 1 is 3. So but just because of series 3, again the function is called with the value of n as 3. Okay, then it again come down, it check whether the value of n, that is 3, is it less than equal to 1 or not. Yes, it is not less than equal to 1. So what will happen? As you see that series 4 will call the above function. Okay, so now what will happen? It will come down and it will execute this expression that the value of current is values of n is right now 3. So it will execute the expression 3 plus series of n minus 1, that is 3 minus 1, that is 2. Okay, so the function is called with the value 2. So now the value of n becomes 2, right? So when the value of n becomes 2, it again check the expression that whether the value of n, that is 2, is it less than equal to 1? The answer is no, the value of 2 is not less than equal to 1. So what will happen? Then again this expression executes. So what we will get? We will get 2 plus series n minus 1 is now 1. Okay, so again it moves up and the value of n is supplied as 1. Okay, so when it comes to this, it will check whether the value of 1, is it less than equal to 1? Yes, this function, this value is less than equal to 1, so it will return the value of n, and right now the value of n is 1. So this series 1 function got the value 1, so we get 3. This 3 value is returned to the, okay, so this answer will return in the next level. So we will get over series 2 as 3 and the answer will become 6. Then this 6 is returned to the call of series 3 and we will get the value as 6, and this 6 plus 4 become 10, and this 10 will return to the call of series 4 and we will get the answer as 10 is equal to 15, and then this 15 will be sent to the function. Okay, then this 15 will be sent to the function. Okay, so in this way the recursion works. Now we have to do one more question, that is a function to find factorial of a given number. So we have to find the factorial of a given number using recursion. Okay, so let me first, you know that when we do the recursion, suppose if the number is, suppose the number which we want to find is 5. and we want to find the factorial of 5. So then what will we do? 1 multiply by 2 multiply by 3 multiply by 4 multiply by 5. In this way we get the result. Okay, so obviously in this case we have to move from down to the from the end side. Okay, so if the value of n is 1, or we can say that if the value of n is equal to 1, then return n, that you have to return the value of n. Otherwise what you have to do, you have to return n multiply by, suppose we give the name of this function as Fibo, okay, sorry, facto. So what we will do, we will call n multiply by facto of n minus 1. Okay, 1 multiplied by the facto of basically n minus 1. Okay, so let me just remove all these. Okay, now what will happen in this case? Now, so as you see the number given to the user, suppose the number given to the user is 4, we will take a small number, that is 4. Okay, so when the function call is given, it will check the value of n is 4. So it will check whether the value of n, that is 4, is it equal to 1. So right now the value of n is 4, which is not equal to 1. This is wrong. Okay, so what it will do, it will come to the else part and it will execute this expression. Then this expression will be the value of n is 4 and it is multiplied by with facto of 4 minus 1, that is 3. Okay, again this facto 3 will call the function again, but at that time the value of n will be taken as 3. Okay, so it will check if n is equal to 1. So is the value of n, that is right now it is 3, is it equal to 1? The answer is still no. So what it will do, it will move to the else part, and in the else part it will do, it will again call the function that by for solving this expression, that is 3 multiplied by facto of 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay, so 2, and then again the function is called, but then at that time the value of n becomes 2. So it will check whether the value of n, that is 2, is it equal to 1. The answer is still no. So what will it do? It will come to the else part and it will solve this expression, that is 2 multiplied by facto of 1. So now the value of the facto function is called and the value of n is sent as 1. So it will check whether the value of n is 1. Yes, right now the value of n is 1. So it will return n. Now what is the value of n right now? 1. So this facto 1 will get the value as 1. So 2 multiplied by 1 is 2. Okay, then this 2 result is returned to this call, and this will get the value as 2. So 3 2s is 6, and this 6 will get the value over here, and 6 4s is 24. So you can know that then this 24 will be returned as a result to the calling point. So you can see that by using this we are just using a particular pattern, and then we are getting the result, because the factorial of 4 is basically 24. Okay, so now today I am just ending this lecture right now. In the next lecture we will do some more questions regarding the factorial. Thank you very much.